Hello there, this is Wade Raschow. I am going to make my homemade healthy mayonnaise. Mayonnaise today, most mayonnaise, just about every mayonnaise you find has soybean oil in it, which is very not good for a man. And it actually isn't good for anybody because soybean oil for a man will drop his testosterone level. And just about even the olive oil mayonnaises they show still has soybean oil in it. So I make my own. I use olive oil, I use DEJON mustard, I use an egg, a large egg, one large egg, a half of a lemon, and I use a half of a teaspoon of pink sea salt. And the DEJON mustard is a teaspoon of DEJON mustard. That's how I make my mayonnaise. I use a 16-ounce jar. I put a cup in it, and the jar that I have actually shows you when you've measured a cup. And I put a cup of olive oil, mild olive oil. I don't use the extra virgin because the taste is too strong. So I use mild. It don't have no taste to it. Then I add a whole egg in it. I don't mix anything. One large egg. I add it in there, and then I add to that. Actually, I can't put the stuff in there at the same time I'm holding my camera, so I'm doing it separately. I add to that a half a lemon. I squeeze it in there. All the juice to that, half a small lemon. I use lemon instead of vinegar. Then I add a teaspoon of DEJON mustard. It says pink sea salt. I got those backwards. But a teaspoon of DEJON mustard and a half a teaspoon of pink sea salt. Again, I labeled that backwards. Teaspoon of DEJON mustard and a half a teaspoon of pink sea salt. And then I get my emulsifier. I stick it all the way down in the bottom. It's a little mixer, real high-powered mixer. And I can't hold on to the jar, so it's going to kind of turn. But the idea is to get it going and start seeing that white build up and slowly work your way up to the top until you've got all the oil mixed in to everything else. See, and it's hard for me to do with the camera, but you kind of get the idea. You just slowly work your way up to the top till it's a good thick base of mayonnaise. And man, I tell you what, you can add like black pepper to it, or you can add other spices if you want, garlic in it, stuff like that. When you get through, you got a good thick jar of mayonnaise, and boy does it taste good. I love it. I like this so much better than the store-bought stuff. And if you want to thin it out, you can put like a little bit of water in it to thin it out. But I don't do that. I like it thick. So that's my mayonnaise. Now to make a Thousand Island dressing, I get reduced calorie ketchup, which is 1 gram of carbs per tablespoon. And I put 3 tablespoons of reduced sugar ketchup in the mayonnaise. I love ketchup, but I can't eat it. Even the reduced sugar, I wind up eating too much. So I put it in my mayonnaise to give my mayonnaise a little bit of ketchup flavor, which is kind of like a Thousand Island dressing. So I take that 3 tablespoons. Right here I didn't measure it out, but that's about approximately 3 tablespoons. And when I get through putting that 3 tablespoons in there, I reach over and I grab my little spatula thing and I mix that in real good. And when I get through mixing it, it comes out like this, Thousand Island. And I like to dip my meats in it, my hamburger meat and my chicken and everything like that. I love to dip that stuff in this Thousand Island dressing. Very healthy, low carb, keto. There's 3 grams of carbs, maybe 4 at the most, in that whole jar of mayonnaise. But a lot of fat, because I have to eat a lot of fat with my protein. The fat's what's making its weight melt off of me. Originally, several years back, I weighed 527 pounds. I now weigh 279 pounds. That's the finished product. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you've learned something from this, and I hope you can make your own mayonnaise. Thanks for watching again.